Hello everyone, so we're doing a different kind of video today because a couple of people have asked me about what it's like to be a blogger, and I am not a full-time blogger. I'm a full-time nurse, part-time blogger. So on my website, one show at a time, I talk about theatre and books and anything else that just kind of takes my fancy and I want to share my opinions on. So I thought I would share an insight onto what it's like when I want to write something. So we're gonna use an example today of a book I was sent to review because it's slightly different depending on what I'm writing. So for example, for theatre, I will go to a show, I'll go home and I'll just write about it. But with a book, it's a little bit different. So this book here I was sent to review, Son of Blood and Ruin. I applied to read and review this book about the end of August, about the 28th of August I want to say roughly. Found out I got accepted to read and review this book on the 4th of September, and then they sent the book to me on the 14th of September. So I couldn't actually write anything about the book until I got it because I knew nothing about it. So on the 14th of September I got the book, and I have to share my review on the 28th of September. So I have to have read the book and written my review ready to go by the 28th of September, ready for it to go live. So this book is a total of 365 pages long. So from the 14th of September I read kind of as much as I could every day to get it finished, and I finished it yesterday on the 23rd of September. So today is the 24th of September, so I've got about 3 days to write a blog post and to get my review ready to share live on the 28th. A bit less time than I'd like to have to write a blog post because normally it does take me a good couple of days anyway to write a blog post, and that's without factoring in days at work. So for example, I'm working tomorrow and I'm working on Wednesday, so it does kind of delay me a little bit, but I'm going to try and write as much as I can today to get it written and ready to go. Normally an average blog post takes me about 2 to 3 days to write and perfect and get ready to go, so it's doable. It's just going to be a bit trickier this time now that I have less time to write it, but challenge accepted. So I've read the book, I've written some notes along to go, and I'm ready to write. What next? Well, that is when I head to the computer and start writing. So when I start to write, I don't write on my website first, I write on Google Docs first because it just really helps me with the editing. So whatever my blog post will start off looking like, so this is what I've got at the start, it will never end up being the same thing that it started out with. By the finished product that I post on my website, it looks almost entirely different, and I just find it easier to edit on Google Docs. This is not sponsored, I just use them religiously. So I will write my full blog post on here using my notes as I go, and then I'll edit it, do 2 or 3 rereads before I transfer it to my website, where I do final little adjustments and edits there, and then I will put in some photos, do all the tags and stuff, which we will go through when it gets to that point. But until then, I'm going to edit on here and write on here. Okay, it's been just under an hour and I've had to take a little break because I find that sometimes if I'm sat writing for too long, then my head just stops working and everything I write ends up being really bad, and I'm just going to delete it anyway. And I just kind of run out of thoughts in my head empty, no thoughts there. So I've taken a little break. Now I've written for an hour. I've made a good bit of progress. I think I'm about halfway through now, and I'm just going to read a bit of the Borrow a Boyfriend Club, which I was also sent to read and review. About halfway through that, and it's just really sweet, wholesome, heartwarming little read. So I'm going to read a bit of that, and then we will try and write some more again this afternoon. Now I've written about half of it, I don't feel quite so like get something down, but yeah, so that's where we're at. Okay, so I've just spent another hour writing, and I think that means that I have finally finished writing my review on my Google Docs. So it took me about 2 hours in total, which actually is quite fast for me. Normally it takes me like 4 or 5 hours to write a review. Again, it does depend on what I'm writing about. It depends on how much I have to say, but also I think it helped with this having the deadline that I was like, okay, I've got to get this written. But for example, for The Book Thief, there was lots of names I wanted to include, lots of details I wanted to talk about, and that was something I had a lot of thoughts on, so that one took me about 2 days, whereas a book review doesn't usually take me as long because I think it's just one author rather than talking about all the cast and creatives of a show, for example, so that helps. For example, for this I have to share my review by the 28th. That added pressure does kind of give me a kick to just get on with it and just do it. So I finally finished writing the review on Google Docs, so I'm now going to move all across to my blog and do some final finishing up and some little editing. I'll get my Grammarly to work on my laptop and make sure that everything is as good as it can be, all ready to go. Okay, here we are. The whole review has been copied and pasted into my WordPress website on my blog, ready for me to edit and do some more finalising on here before I schedule it, all ready for the 28th. What day is that? Some point next week, Thursday. Yes, we're going to do some last minute editing on here now. So I realised while editing that I need a photo of the book to use for both the Instagram post and for the blog. So I just took my book and went on a little photo shoot with my dad in the garden, our front garden, and we tried lots of different things with like the plants and berries and stuff to try and make it look really fun and make the colours pop out. I really like using the garden and flowers and plants and stuff in my photos because I think it looks really cool. So me and my dad just went and tried lots of different things with the book, and we got some really good photos, so I'm going to use them in my blog and on my Instagram post. And now I'm going to carry on editing, but first it's time for a shower because it's the end of the day and I have work tomorrow, so I'm just going to hop in the shower and then finish editing it. So some little bits that I do while I'm editing is on the tags. I put in some tags so when people search any of these terms, my blog has a chance of coming up. I choose a category for it, which means that when you go to my blog, you'll be able to find under the book section, so that makes it a bit easier for everyone to find it. I will also, when I put the photos on here, choose a featured image, so it means that on my homepage, you'll be able to see the picture as well as just the writing. Just to put it into context what I've just said, so this is what my website looks like if you were to go onto it as a visitor. Obviously I've been on the editing side. This is what the readers will see when they click on my website, and when I say a featured image like this here, it will be a picture of the book that I put onto the blog post, and like this one here for Fury the Dragon Goddess. These are some theatre review ones I did, again with the flowers. So yes, that's what I mean by a featured image. And also on here, these are all the most recent posts I've written, and then when I say categories, this right here is what I mean. So you click on books, you'll see them all about books. This is all about theatre, so yeah, that just helps people to find sort of things they want to read about. Okay, so I put the photos onto my computer, which I'm now going to upload onto the blog post, which is still in draft, do one last proofread and then schedule it and then do the social media. We're about 2/3 of the way there. All of the photos are uploaded, all of the links are there, all of the writing is done. I've not scheduled the social media post yet, and I've not scheduled the post itself because I want to do a quick preview of what I think it will look like. So let's do that now and let's see how the finished piece is going to look. Okay, so I'm ready to preview the post. I have made this picture here the featured image because I quite like all the colours, and I know most of the cover looks like it's been covered up by the leaves and stuff, but I quite like that because it's quite intriguing. And obviously the title of the book is in the title of the blog post anyway, and I do mention it several times in the blog post, so I don't think it's the end of the world that this picture has got most of the title covered. I quite like how it looks actually. I think it's really unique. So let's preview it and see. We ready? And see, that looks quite good actually. I quite like that. And then here is the post. So this picture is a good size. I like the fact that none of this writing is too squished, so that's always a good start. And then you've got all the writing here, and then we keep scrolling. There's another picture. See, I do think that this is a nice size for the writing until you get to this bottom bit here, so I might play around with that sizing and make it maybe a bit smaller. But then you get down here, and then I've got the Insta book tours poster here as well. But on the whole, this is not going to take me too much editing, which is quite nice, because normally I have to play around the photos quite a lot to make it look the way I want it to, but no, I'm quite happy with that. Yay! So this is where I schedule the social media posts. I do want it public because I want everyone to go and see it, and where it says immediately, I am just going to change that until the 28th, and because that's Thursday and I'm on a day off anyway, I'm going to make it for kind of about midday time when people will be awake and in a position to read it. So there you go, September 28th. and it is scheduled for 12 o'clock in the afternoon, and then that is all perfect. So that's all good to go. So I'm just going to schedule it. That is all scheduled and ready to go on Thursday. I'm on a day off so I can promote it then, but I do like to have the social media posts ready because I think it takes me quite a bit of time to think of kind of the way I'm going to phrase the tweets and the Instagram story and the Instagram post and that. So I'm going to schedule them now, and I will have one last proofread of that probably Wednesday night just to make sure I'm happy and do any final last minute adjustments then as well. All in all, so the editing I started took me about 15 minutes, then I took loads of photos and then chose the photos, so that took me about 15 minutes as well, so that's an extra half an hour, so we're looking at about 2.5 hours now. And then that bit we just saw there with me editing it again and putting all the photos on, that was another half an hour, so we're looking at about 3 hours now, and I haven't even finished doing the social media stuff yet. This is not me complaining, this is just me putting into perspective how long every blog post takes me. This is the shorter end of the scale, and I'm not complaining at all. I love writing and I wouldn't not do it, so this isn't a moan, it's just more of a honest representation of what goes into putting a blog post onto my website. Anyway, social media scheduling, last little hurdle. So because it's scheduled, I do have a link already, so I'm just going to copy that ready to pop into a tweet. Alright, I scheduled the Twitter post as you saw. Try to schedule the Instagram post, and I'm trying to trim the caption down, which is taking far longer than I expected. My head is like throbbing where I've looked at a screen so much today. So I'm not going to do any more today. I'm going to do the rest on Tuesday. So I'm going to take a couple of days break, let myself sit on it. Tuesday I'll proofread the blog then, so I've got to do it on Wednesday. Proofread it on Tuesday, finish the Instagram caption on Tuesday, and then just ignore it all until it goes live on Thursday, when I have to check that everything's gone live and share all the posts that I've drafted. I will update you guys in a couple of days then. In the meantime, the rest of the day I'm going to read Tuesday. Also, I'm hoping to start another reading vlog for a very exciting book that comes out soon. If you're a Rick Riordan fan, you will know. So that might be coming soon as well. It is now Monday evening and I have drafted the Instagram post. I did it tonight because I thought actually realistically tomorrow I'm not going to want to do anything except read Percy Jackson. So I've done everything I can do tonight all ready for Thursday. The drafting the Instagram post in the end took me way longer than I expected. Like I said, I was way too long with the caption. So it took me about half an hour just to get the caption down. So we're looking at about, I can't remember what I said, maybe about 3.5 hours now before the blog post has gone live, just working on all the behind the scenes stuff. So yeah, on Thursday everything will go live, so then I just have to go and share everything, and that's all done and it's all live. So now I can take 2 days break. Tomorrow is a day off and I'm going to spend the whole day reading Percy Jackson, or as much of it as I can, and then Wednesday I am on a study day at home. It is kind of like an online study day I'm doing with work, and then that takes us to Thursday. So yes, that is your final update for now. Good morning everyone, it is a Thursday morning, which is the day that my review of my blog post goes live. I did reschedule a post to just go live at 9:30 because I was like, look, realistically I'm going to be awake and there's no point in wasting the whole day to share it. Let's just get it out in the morning so people have got the whole day to read it, I've got the whole day to promote it, and we can just get it over with. Because also I have this thing where if I have something scheduled in the day, I just can't focus on anything until that's done, and I don't know why. So at least now I can focus on stuff, because that's going to go live about 9:30. I'll give it about 10 minutes for my blog to catch up with my phone, and then I'll start sharing all the stuff about 9:45, and then I can just let the whole day go past and everyone read it and not worry about it. It's going to go live in about 10 minutes and then I'll share it, and then all the work is done. You can kind of see how much goes into me writing a blog post. I read, I make notes, I write, I edit, I take the photos, I do all the social media stuff, and like I said, this is not me complaining, I wouldn't change it, I love doing it, but there's just a lot that goes into it, especially when you're just one person doing this as your side job, not even your main job, alongside your actual full-time job. So yeah, hope this was somewhat eye-opening, I guess. Anyway, I'm gonna go have some coffee before it goes live very shortly. you saw me post on Twitter and Instagram, and that's all I've got to do now is live, and now I just wait for the reads to come in. I hope this video was somewhat interesting, kind of gave you an insight onto what I do behind the scenes. If you have anything you'd like me to write about or to make videos about, as always, just let me know. But otherwise, that's that blog post live, and I can forget about it for the rest of the day. So I'm going to go to Waterstones today to pick up an order, of course I am, and then I'm going to come back and read some more Percy Jackson. Enjoy the rest of your day, everyone. Keep yourselves happy and healthy, take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and I'll see you all again soon. Bye!